Hi, and welcome back to my channel, Witch Way 101. My name is Jessie, and I have some awesome content to go over today. So, lately we've been covering different tools, different ways that a person can use these tools. We've also covered smudging. So today I'm just going to cover different kinds of practitioners, different kinds of people who practice witchcraft. So you've got your solitary practitioners, and those are the people who are diehard. I will not practice with another person. Okay, they're amazing people. They just prefer solitary practicing to practicing in a coven. And then you have other people who practice in a coven. And a coven is a group of witches that can be male or female that get together and they cast spells and they chant and they pray and they do all this stuff together. Now, you've also got another type of people too, and these type of people are kind of interesting because they can go ahead and they can have a coven, but they can do the solitary practitioner thing on their own too. They don't necessarily do all the spells in the coven. They don't necessarily join for every single ceremony of the coven, but they are considered part of a coven. I myself have been like that. Lately, it's just been more solitary practicing for myself. I feel that there are many discoveries that a person can make on their own, but I feel that there are also discoveries that a person can make by practicing in a coven too. I think that one needs to be careful when choosing a new coven or even approaching the idea of getting into a coven, because certain covens have different things that they do. And if this does not follow through with your personal and spiritual beliefs and your personal and spiritual growth and those needs that you personally have for that growth inside of you, don't join it. Okay? If for some reason your gut goes off and you say, you know what, I'm really not feeling this right now, don't do it. That's your choice. Okay? Do not put yourself in a situation that you are not comfortable in when it comes to practicing witchcraft. Okay? Witchcraft is a beautiful, beautiful thing, but it can also go ahead and harm people more than what should be the case. Okay? People sit there and they dabble. And what I mean by dabbling is they play around with Ouija boards and they open these doors and they do things that they really shouldn't do. And sometimes being in a coven will go ahead and help you with that and help you learn this is what you should be working on right now. Other times, being a solitary practitioner, a lot of guidance is necessary and needed. Sometimes you get outside influences like myself who say, hey, you're dealing with a negative energy. This is what I would do. Or hey, you're not able to ground yourself. I would go ahead and make this right here. I've made this mixture myself. It works for me. It's actually funny. I made a grounding powder the other day because lately, for some reason, I've just been feeling kind of out of touch. And it was a good thing. I've been burning it lately, and like everybody around me, it's a brilliant thing because everybody around me is just like, how are you doing that? Like, it's just so calm right now, and like I just feel so at peace, and I'm just like, hey, nice one. And like, I mean, I tell them that you're coming into a house that people practice witchcraft in, and they all know this before they come in, so they all know that there's a chance that something I've done or burned or some sort of thing going on in my house could potentially affect them, usually in a positive way. I'm very much into protecting my house and home, and if I can help other people ground themselves, that's a great thing. But now that I've gotten completely off topic, the thing is that everybody needs help learning about new things, and you're never going to learn everything from a book. Okay, books are great; they can teach you a lot. Okay, I will never, ever, ever deny that. But the thing is that the most discovery you will ever find about what kind of practitioner you are is when you practice. Okay? That does not necessarily mean that you have to go ahead and sit there and become vegan and become a hippie and start lighting patchouli every 2 seconds. And no. That's not what that means at all. Okay? as you can see, I wear normal clothes, you know, it's what I do. I have a headset on, you know, there's a laptop in the background. Well, you guys can't see it in the background because my phone is on it. But, you know, so there's different things to do. And I mean, you see my altar bag in the background, and when I turn the camera ever so slightly, you can even see a smudging kit right there. Like, it's so. And this is actually not even my home. I'm visiting, if you can't tell from the coughing in the background. But, you know, so practice what feels good to yourself. I would recommend starting off small, starting off with smudging, starting off with going ahead and just really getting in there and digging your hands into, okay, this is what I have for an altar. What's next? What do I do after that? Learn the colors. Learn the moon phases. Figure out what kind of practitioner you are. You know, that doesn't necessarily mean go ahead and cast luck spells and money spells and stuff like that, because you don't really know if this is the right path for you. And I think that if you're practicing this and you've been practicing for a while and you've figured out that this is the right path for you, by all means, more power to you. Have at it, please. You know, I'm not trying to prevent anybody from practicing witchcraft. I am, however, trying to go ahead and open up people's eyes about these are the different ways, these is what people do. And I'm trying to educate people, because unfortunately, too many people sit here and they say, oh, well, this is okay for us to do this in a coven, and what they're doing in the coven is completely opposite of what they're doing at home. You know, I know people who have done that, and after a while, their coven sisters and brothers have found out about this. They get kicked out of the coven. Okay, a coven is supposed to be like a family. It really is. That is what a coven is there for. A coven is supposed to be your family. If you have a stump that you can't get over, that you can't figure out, the best person to go to would be a coven sister or a coven brother, okay? Or if you're a solitary practitioner, finding other people who practice witchcraft and seeing what they do about certain things. You know what I mean? Do you understand what I'm saying? It's not necessarily that you're going to have to do all of this on your own, and that's not always going to be the case, okay? Unless you choose to be a solitary practitioner. But even then, more often than not, solitary practitioners still ask for help. They still seek guidance. Why? Because we all don't know everything. Okay? So, now that I've covered the basics of solitary practicing and coven practicing and the mixture of both, I want you guys to be able to explore this option in yourself and to figure out if being in a coven is the right choice for you, or going and joining a coven but not always participating in. Let your coven family know this. You know, communication is very big in these covens. The more that you can communicate what's going on as far as your own magical learnings and whatnot, the better off you're going to go ahead and build that deep bond. And the deeper that bond goes, the more that you guys are going to be able to come together, the more you're going to want to practice together, the more that you're going to feel like family. Okay? And that's a two-way street. You know, so if you're spilling out all your dirty, dark secrets or whatever you want to call them to somebody else, don't sit there and expect not to learn something from them as well. Okay? So everything's a give and take. It's not necessarily going to equate monetary wise as far as the lessons that you learn from these people, but the lessons that you learn are usually lessons that stick with you. So I'm going to let it go at that. My name is Jessie. Thank you for watching this video on Witch Way 101. I do not have the rights to the music, and I know I should have said that at the beginning of the show, channel, video, whatever you want to call it. I forgot. I've been hellaciously excited about getting this video out there because I think that so many people need this information, and I was asked the other day whether or not I was in a coven or a solitary practitioner, because I've mentioned before that I've had a coven sister and she recently passed. But I seem like a solitary practitioner. So that's kind of to clear that up as well too. I'm more of a solitary practitioner, but I will practice in a coven every once in a while. Currently I don't have a coven, so technically right now I'm just a solitary practitioner. I'm not seeking a coven, but that does not mean that that's not going to happen, okay? So that's just how that goes. And picking a coven is kind of like picking your underwear or your socks. You want them to fit great. You know, that you want them to look great on you. You want them to feel great. You don't want to pick something that's the wrong fit. Okay? So when it comes to all that, just please make sure to be more than willing to explore that. Delve deep in there. Delve deep into yourself. Figure out what it is that you truly want. Okay? So I'm going to let you guys go. I will talk to you all later. Let me know down in the comments if there's anything that you guys want me to cover or anything like that. And yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Have a great day. Bye for now.